Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's your boy JB. I'm back once again. Volume 3, the Kitchen Sink podcast. Kitchen Sink podcast. Today, I want to talk about workflow. So, last night, I was putting together the video, which is up right now, for my beetroot chocolate cake. If you haven't seen it yet, go and see it. It's absolutely beautiful. Try it. It's mega. And I think I got into the studio at about half eight, and I did the video, made up the video. I'll tell you the process that in a minute. Did the post for the website, finished at 11 o'clock. So that was 2.5 hours for one recipe. And the reason for that is because actually I'm using some software that it's not really, it's there and it's made for what I needed to do as far as editing software and everything else is concerned. But in order to make the videos that I make, I have to go through maybe 3 or 4 different editing processes before I can actually finish it. So the whole video takes maybe somewhere in the region of about an hour to build. Which is fine because I've been doing it now for about 2 years, something like that. But I think it's time for a change. I think 2.5 hours to do one video is too slow, to be quite honest. And I think it's time we made a change. Let me run you through my workflow for building my videos and the videos that we do here. So essentially what I do is I've got 2 main cameras. The camera that you're on right now is a Google Pixel 2. I've had it now for about 6 months. Best phone I've ever owned, ever. Believe the hype. See what everybody's telling you about it, believe it. It is probably one of the greatest phones I think that I've ever used. Just gonna pop and get some water. But the other thing to say is that, of course, the reason why I bought it is because of the camera originally, but of course there's just so much more, like the photos and the space and photos and all the rest of that sort of stuff. So that's camera number 1. I use it for the live stream here, and also I use it for B-roll and doing B-roll shots. Bear with me a second. I usually cut that bit out of the podcast. And basically, then I've got a GoPro. So I have a GoPro Hero 5, and it's my main camera for doing all of my shots. So every single recipe shot, every single thing that I do from a recipe perspective is all shot in the GoPro. Which, a lot of people slag it off, but it does what I need. I'm happy enough. So no skin off my nose what it is, as long as it can record in 4K and 1080p, it doesn't really matter, and this one can. Plus it gives me 120 frames per second as well, so I can shoot really good slow motion if I really need to, although it's very rare, to be fair, that I ever do that. So then all of that footage is dumped onto my wee Mac. I've got a wee Mac Mini up the stairs, and I use iMovie. And iMovie's great for piecing everything together. I can edit in it no bother, I can speed edit in it no bother. I know it inside out, but the problem that I have is that I have to record voiceover separately because I don't have a microphone, and also I need to record and put together a green screen and all the rest of that sort of stuff. So it's actually the recording of the vocals that takes such a long period of time. It's like a really, really long period of time. It's because I do it on my phone, so I record it all directly into the GoPro, and then, the GoPro, right into the Pixel 2 on an app I've got called Voice Recorder. Then I transfer it to Dropbox. Then I compress it in a program called Audacity, and then I dump it into the timeline, and that takes maybe half an hour, 45 minutes. Now I do have a good workflow down for that because, you know, it actually took me an hour and a half the first time I did it, but I've set down a workflow, and because I've got engineering experience from back in the band days, I know exactly what I'm looking for. I know exactly how to make my voice the way that I want to make my voice, essentially. So then all of that gets pieced together, and then uploaded to YouTube, which takes ages because I'm on a Wi-Fi connection, so it takes a while, but that's okay because in the meantime then I'm going to have to write all of the copy for YouTube, right? So that's the introduction, the description, ingredients, the cookware, nutritional aspects, the directions, and all of my links. Every single time that gets written for YouTube, specifically for that particular video, then whenever the video uploads to YouTube, I do all the bits and pieces like the end credits and all the rest of that sort of stuff. So that takes a wee bit of time. But then what that means once that's done is that is the written recipe as well. So then I go into the website, I update the website, which is really quick actually because of the fact that I've already done the work for YouTube. So that's quite cool. And then the next day I wake up on a Saturday usually, and I release the video, and I do all of my admin work for social media, do all my social media posts, do all of my Facebook adverts, the full shebang. Now the main things that really cause me the time loss are the voiceovers, but also iMovie, because I'd like to be able to now do better shots and better things with both cameras alongside several pieces of audio, but I can only get one timeline for videos because I'm using green screen, right, for all of the, you know, the effects in the top corner and the FatLadFood and all the rest of that stuff, and the green screen for the end credits and all the rest of it. So I lose out on a video channel that I could be using for other video, so I have to do a lot of cutting and pasting and a lot of cutting work in order to get it done. So I'm thinking over the next couple of months I'm going to start saving up some hard-earned cash, and I'm going to buy Final Cut Pro in the hope that my little Mac Mini can take it. So that's the next plan, but also then a microphone that I'm going to be able to record voiceovers directly into Final Cut Pro and connect it off to an audio editor that I can use right away, so that's simply one job and it's done maybe in about, you know, I record the voiceover, all the levels are done within Final Cut Pro or wherever else I'm using, and then bang, it's done. So all of that would actually reduce the whole thing down to half an hour, probably about 30 minutes. So that's my plan for that. That's the next portion of FatLadFood and how we're going to be doing it then on. So I'm going to save up all of that over the next couple of months and get all of that finished, because I think that it's badly needed. So speaking of today's recipe, we've got a beetroot chocolate cake. A friend of mine, Michelle's birthday actually a couple of weeks ago, and you'll see on the video we had a really great laugh. It was really great fun. But this cake is probably the most moist cake I think I've ever eaten. I mean, and I do a really nice ginger cake, right? But this one, I don't know what it is about it. I don't know why it's so good, but God, it's really, really good. It's like superb, really, when it's all said and done. Just because of the fact that it's so moist, right? And that's really what is so good about it. So I urge you to check that out. I urge you to try it. It's not that hard actually to do. You just need a food processor really, and then a mixing bowl, and that's really about the height of it. I'm gonna change positions now in a second. So the next part of today, what I'm going to be doing today is it's the lady wife's birthday, so we're going to be spending some time with her all day, but also at the same time I've gotten some of this, which is rye flour. I'm going to make some rye bread today and see what that comes out like. I'm quite excited actually about it, because to be honest with you, I make quite a lot of bread, but I very rarely make different bread other than like a white or a you know, a wholemeal or a soda or whatever it is. Excuse me. So I'm very excited about making that. What else is going on? You'll remember we've been talking about the FatLadFood bakery opening up its doors for the soda bread and the thing. So it starts tomorrow. So I have an early day tomorrow, 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to get up. I've got an order for 10 soda breads and 10 pancakes, plus another order for soda bread for work on Monday. So I'm going to do that tomorrow morning and document that whole process, because I think it's going to be quite cool to be able to ping out the old FatLadFood bakery and tell the world about all the great produce that I've been banging out recently. So maybe we'll do a wee bit of rye bread to go along with that and give you the details, but I'll be getting the camera out today and basically recording all of that, I think, because I think it's important to document all of these things. You have to bear with me, I have really bad hay fever. So one of the things that I suffer from really heavily every single month is hay fever. And actually what I've found is that the garden, going out and actually gardening, means it doesn't actually make it as bad. So I think putting myself in that atmosphere over the last couple of months and over the last couple of years has really helped to reduce the overall, because I used to be really bad about it. I used to get nosebleeds, burst blood vessels, the whole shebang. So I think all of that probably has subsided quite a bit since I started gardening, because I've been pretty much out in the garden for the last couple of weeks. For some reason, and nobody knows why, but Belfast, over the last couple of weeks, and where I'm from, over the last couple of weeks, we've been getting between 22 degrees and 24 degree weather, which never happens here, right? We rarely get it. We don't get it for as prolonged a period. Certainly don't get it for, 2 weeks. It never happens. So it has been hot, hot, hot. And like, I know that doesn't sound like hot to most people, but here, that's real hot. It's really, really hot. And our garden is a lovely little sun trap, so everything has come up. Everything literally has come up. So last week we had a barbecue and had the in-laws up for a bit of dinner, and actually used some of my radishes. My radishes were easily about that length, no doubt about that. So it's very exciting to see those coming up and working for me. All of my salads are up, my onions are on fire at the minute, they're huge, and all of my potatoes and strawberry plants are still thriving, so quite pleased with that. So we've plenty of produce coming out of that, and plenty of recipes then based on that produce, which will be really, really cool coming up over the next sort of 2 or 3 months. Yeah, so that's everything really. Like I said, today's the wifey's birthday, so I'm going to spend some time with her. I've already made a beautiful cake for her. Let's see if I can actually bring you and show you it. Which is right here. Yep, there you go. Beautiful cake. So she's a big fan of strawberries and cream, right? So the perfect cake. It's a strawberries and cream sponge. Real easy to make. I think I'll probably bang up a recipe for that over the next couple of weeks. But one of the other ones I'm going to be doing next week is my ginger cake. If you thought the beetroot cake was moist, the ginger cake, so much syrup in it. It's unreal. So it's just pure moist the whole way right through. I'm so very excited about that. So as usual, if you enjoy listening to me talking about ultimately irrelevant things or food related things that relate to FatLadFood and everything that we're doing here at FatLadFood, click the subscribe button and click the wee bell and click all notifications. And every time I do a live feed like this, you'll be notified and it'll tell you that I'm live, and you can come and talk to me on the chat or whatever it is you want to do. As always, like the video if you like the video, and if you want a lot more, just check out the channel. There's over 260 videos of me making food, so by all means enjoy it, and I wish all of you a fabulous weekend.